Yay, loves! Welcome to the Moon Babes Monday Night Live. It's Sonia G, and we got shit to talk about today. We're starting in hot because there's much to be said. So I'm pinning my comment here. We're going to talk about what's going on with these satellites that are being launched. We're going to talk about the grid. We're going to talk about what's happening with portals. If you know that you are like a portal keeper, a gatekeeper, a grid worker, stick around because like this is going to be important information. And then we're going to talk about what's happening astrologically and with like our physical cellular regeneration and the energy that's coming around. Because there's a shit ton of things that are going on. All right? Yay! Okay. I was just sharing your video on my story and bam, you're live. I love it. Yes. Amazing. I love that. Okay. Let's do this. Everybody, rub your palms together if you can, okay? And take a deep breath in, close your eyes. Hold the breath, put your palms on your heart, hold the breath, connect inwards, connect to your heart. Feel the heartbeat, feel that connection, and then exhale. One more time. Inhale. Hand on your heart. Hold the breath. Connect inwards, let all the thoughts of the day go. And exhale, becoming present. Sometimes that is enough just for the moment, right? When we're doing our work all the time, then we can just go inwards in a moment like that, just to refocus. Okay, so let's start coming in hot. I hope everybody had a great Valentines. Felt the love vibes all around the planet. So what's happening with these satellites? Okay, if you look on my stories I shared, there's these Elon Musk, whom for the record, I have never liked. Let this be known, okay? A lot of people think he's like God's gift to mankind, but there's other forces at play there. So this is why you will never, ever, ever see me owning a Tesla. I believe if there are any cars that will turn into like Transformers hell on planet Earth right now, it will be Teslas, just so you know. This is just my opinion, but I'm just saying, the guy is like, there's just something. Look at the people he hangs out with. He's a genius being used by a lot of other people. So anyways, done. His satellites are being ejected, are being sent out, whatever. They're being deployed into orbit. And the plan is to literally completely grid the whole entire motherfucking Earth, okay, with satellites. Do you know how horrible that is? Do you know how insanely, you think we have shit going on right now, in our airways? You think that our spiritual Wi-Fi is having trouble connecting right now? You wait till that shit is deployed. Actually, let's not wait. We got work to do and we have to be the interference. So let's be very clear about this. We are the ones that have to break that shit up. I don't think I can say it anymore any more blatant. This is our job. Okay, if you're a grid keeper, if you are a portal worker, if you are a gateway keeper, okay, if you work in these kind of energy fields, if you're a light worker that works on the grid, in the portals or in gateways, okay, get your ass active. It's getting more intense. A lot of you are asking me about recently, how did you guys say, a lot of you were saying I feel disconnected, or I feel what was the word, when you're just not feeling in tune, you feel like you're numb, kind of something like that, right? There's just things going on. Why is it that I feel like I was doing so good and I was getting all this work and I was making headway, and all of a sudden it's it's not, I'm not on the vibe anymore and I'm falling off the horse. What the hell is going on? Why do I feel different inside? Why does the energy feel different? So everything that's going on with the 5G and everything that's happening around the planet, plus the more shit that they put the fuck up in the air, that's our airwaves. That's a big deal. That's pollution, okay? All of that stuff is requiring us to go next level on the way, because we have to pierce through all of that. We have to, when we connect to our galactic self, when we connect to the star beings, when we connect to our energy of ourselves on the stars, you now have to pierce through all of that shit that's going up in space. Does that make sense? It's like a grid that is getting put into motion, okay? It's like an energetic, like, you know how dogs have those collars and like if they go, like there's like a force field and they get zapped, we don't see it. Humans don't feel it, right? Like it's not for us, but if the dogs go through, they get zapped. It's like that, okay? So energetically, there will be like zapping that you have to account for. Like there are frequencies that are fucking with the things. It's not happening quite yet on the astral planes. It's happening down on the earth. If you go, so whatever the fuck they're doing, and I haven't researched any of this, but it's also fucking with the frequencies inside the planet. So I don't know what they have activated. If any of you have this information, you can send it and I'll share it. But what I can tell you, what I know for sure is how it feels. And it feels like there's radiation that's happening on the inside of the earth that is not natural and that it's linking up. So something is moving, something is going on. But what I do know for sure also is that there's been like a wave of like earthquakes and like earth stuff and whatever not. Like the earth is fucking pissed off, because why wouldn't you be if someone is injecting, right, like you with all of this other crap. So when you go down, when you connect, so you breathe into your heart and then you send your energy and your light down, okay? For those of you that are aware of this is why it's been so important to develop this understanding and this awareness. If you don't know that yet, fucking get that shit done. That's like your number one priority. I've been saying this for a long time. We're finally here, okay? Because if you don't know what Mother Earth feels like, if you don't know what that's like, then you don't know how it's like, you don't know how to navigate at this point. So we're kind of like coming up on it. And I think that this is all building up to the equinox. So it just feels like there's this crescendo because this is a very significant equinox. This is the first equinox of the Aquarian age that's happening in March. Okay, so we got shit to get ready for. Like, get your light armor on. Make sure you know how to use, like, you know, your shit. Make sure you know how to utilize your like gifts of light. Make sure you know how to get yourself through dimensional planes and through dimensional fields. We came here for a purpose, and it's not to just sit here and make life look pretty and buy things and eat. That's not it, okay? Like, we came for this shit. We came for this fight. It's just that in the meantime, we get to, like, enjoy our life on Earth, and we get to be on this beautiful planet, like, with families and all the other things, but really, we're the fucking agents on the inside that have to get turned on. We're the masters of light. We came to dismantle a whole entire fucking system. Systems are like, it's game on now, right? It's like really coming on. So you really have to understand how to like master your own energy and the level at which you want to play. So when you go down, which means, you know, the energy at which you want to live, the level at which you want to live. So when you go down, you'll see it. And it's like this green energy that's just different. It's like fluorescent. And it's just like, the earth is like rejecting what's being pumped through it, okay? So there's like this, it feels like static, okay? So go down and understand, make friends with the elements, like big deal. Definitely make sure that you understand your connection to the elements. The elemental kingdom is pissed the fuck off right now. So make sure that you like get connected with them, that you're synced up with them, that you're working in harmony with the natural forces, okay? They may have different things like, you know, technology and whatever not. We're working with natural resources and the actual power inside of our cells, inside of our physical body. So this is where the fight's at. So you have to know how to upgrade yourself outside of using technology, right? This is our like cellular upgrades. These are all the information that comes in, that streams in through light codes, star codes, all the codes, because there's not just light codes like from the sun, right? So they come in many different forms. Like, for example, every time that we go on to Sirius, right? That's like massive amounts of codes. Codes are sacred geometry. Sacred geometry holds together our experience of life on Earth. Okay, once you connect to that and you understand that, then you're working with a bigger framework that you can kind of start to play around and reorganize. And as we all get to do that, as we're all on a higher plane, as we all are there saying like, fuck, this doesn't work, plug that out, I don't want this, break up these motherfucking satellites, like give me the real sunlight, give me these things, you know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff, like stop the fucking pollution, don't make it rain over here. Like we are gonna have to do this. This is our job. Like this is a big deal. Like our planet is just being infiltrated by energies that are synthetic. Okay, so our job is to use the energies that are natural, that are organic with the earth and with the cosmos, and get everything else out of the way, all of the synthetic stuff. Okay, so Queen of Frock. I like that. I had a hard time feeling my heartbeat. Yeah. So those are the kind of questions that I've been getting. Like, I just feel numb. I feel disconnected. I don't feel my heartbeat. I don't even feel my energy system. Okay. That's because things have been are happening in the energy waves. Okay. That are being pumped that just numb you. It's like, and this is happening in a way that a lot of people aren't realizing it. So think of it this way, okay? When your Wi-Fi at home is connected, okay, all of a sudden your Wi-Fi is linked up, and then you turn your TV on, and then there's different channels. Every single channel is connected to that Wi-Fi, okay, which is like grabbing the signal, translating it, feeding it, like giving the airwaves a way to like come through and actually like be broadcasted onto your screen. So those frequencies that are passed on the air are translated into a picture through the crystals inside of your television screen. Okay, the information passes through that and it goes to the crystals of the TV, which renders an image. Guess where else you have fucking crystals? Not just in your TV, inside of your physical body. Okay, so whenever there's broadcasting channels that are not your other broadcasting channels on the TV, right? It's like, oh, hey, instead of sending this broadcast news stream or this whatever the hell it is, instead of sending it via airwaves to then render the signal through the TV, through whatever the technology of the TV, through the crystals in the TV, let's send it to target the humans and then target their actual crystalline structures inside of their body. They're not fucking idiots, you guys. Obviously, they've been doing this for centuries. It's not that they don't understand the stuff that we're talking about. It's just that they're banking on the fact that we're not going to be ready. We're not going to be activated in time. But this is why we're here. This is why we're the motherfucking special ops team, right? Like, this is our job. We have to dismantle, which is why we have no more time to deal with oh my gosh, my past life was so hard. Like, that time is fucking over, okay? Like, make sure that you deal with, and I'm saying this because today I was actually watching a couple of astrologers, and they were sometimes I like to check in with the astrology just because right now it's like Mercury retrograde, meaning like other astrologers that have like other insights, because I'm not an astrologer, I'm an intuitive, right, when it comes to that. So anyways, I couldn't even listen because it's just like, oh, and the torture. Oh, and it's just so much torture to watch what happens in society, like the world, and we have to go through this and we have to go through that, and it's like, fuck. You guys should be awake. You're reading the stars. Like, figure this shit out. Like, we can't pump any of that shit anymore, into what's going on. Like, get yourself through to the other side. Like, get yourself through to the other side. So, okay. So what do? So we need to figure out what energy is our energy, and when these other energy streams, these other broadcasting frequencies hit us. When you know who you are and how your energy feels inside of your body, okay? And then all of a sudden, a weekend, like Valentine's weekend happens, which right before Valentine's weekend, we had a blackout in the Schumann resonance, okay? There was a blackout because such a massive download came in. After that came in, and a lot of light workers are syncing that up, after that, there was a massive bullshit wave of broadcasting thing, okay? Why? Because they see this stuff. They understand this stuff, right? It's not like they're like, oh, whatever. These people don't know what they're doing. They know that the light workers have powers. So they, after that, they sent this massive wave, right? So as we are figuring out and integrating the knowledge and the codes and the information that has come in, right? If you're not actually paying attention to it, but you're being affected by it, then you get bombarded by all this other bullshit that is going to make you feel disconnected. That's going to make you feel all of these other things. That's going to make you feel like this is all of a sudden. I tapped into that for like a moment because I felt it coming on and I was like, what is this? Right? And it just feels like you're so disconnected, and that lifetime as like a light worker was just so far away. And like, this is just like a different reality. Like, there were just things that went in there that were so like subtle to just disconnect from like feelings, because our feelings create our ability to like create like our actual superpowers. Like, it all comes from our ability to feel. So if they can fuck with that, they're fucking with our superpowers, right? And if you're confused about how to feel because there's an outside to inside impulse, right? If you're still living on an outside to inside reality, like, make it a point right now to switch that. You have to live inside to outside. There is no more room for that. Like, otherwise you're gonna, like, it's gonna crush you. The outside to inside world will crush you. The only way to thrive, like to feel really good and amazing and like you're actually in charge of your reality, is to live inside to outside. You have to be in charge of your own frequency, okay? So then when these things happen, when these broadband like things happen, you have to send it back. It's like a radio wave. You know how in the movies, like, I don't know, we watched like some old, I don't know, like starship kind of movie. I can't remember what it was. But like, where they had like in the 80s or 60s or whatever, they had like the guns, and the guns shoot like these like bubble rays at people, right? Or whatever, like when they were still figuring out the sci-fis, like that. Okay, but imagine it that it's like that. It's like, imagine a stream that comes at you wherever you feel it, because that's really kind of what it looks like, except maybe it's not in bubbles, right? It's like a bigger thing, but you have to send it back. You have to reject it. You have to refuse it. You have to hold your energy. You have to hold your alignment and allow all of that to bounce. Now, what's happening is that they're getting smarter, right? So we have like my aura is pretty fucking solid. Like, my aura is like, generally, I don't have that because I work on it every day, right? It's not that it's like, oh yeah, well now she's done all this work and so like, it's easy for her. No, I actually work on it every day. Like, it's my motherfucking full-time job. Like, I work on this stuff and I work on the things. So do your work, do it daily, okay, to hold your aura. Your aura is like your immune system for all the bullshit that's in the air right now, like being broadcasted, the unseen stuff. So whenever you realize it, so if something pierces through, so that's what happened for me, right? And granted, I had one glass of wine over Valentines. And as soon as you use substances, okay, even like one glass of wine, it may be enough if they have something that's like new frequencies that are sharp as shit as it is anyways, and one glass of wine throws you out and that stuff comes in. Now, for me, thank God, right? I recognize it right away because one glass of wine doesn't throw me off that much. And so it's like, it comes in and it's like, thank you, but no thank you. This is not my shit. None of this. I'm very clear on who I am and my belief systems and where I stand and the world that I'm here to shift. So I look at it and I know it's not mine and I send it back, right? Send it back to source light to be transmuted. I put my angels on it, put my higher self on it. Like, I do work. It's not like you just say fuck off and then you go about your day, right? Like, it means that you have work to do. So it's kind of like that. Whenever, like right now, this is not a good time to drink. This is not a good time to do drugs or drink or do anything that will crack your aura. Why? Because they just deployed some new frequencies. So until you understand energetically where you're at, right? Who you are, what you're here to do, what your energy feels like, what you believe in, okay? And what your belief system is and what it is not, then that's your number one. You have to understand your identity and define yourself in this world so that you're not getting confused with the shit that pumps in from the outside in, right? You have to figure out where you stand. Ask yourself, who am I? What do I actually believe in? What is my belief system? What do I believe about life? What do I believe about death? What do I believe is going to happen this year? What do I believe is going to happen with my family? Ask yourself the fucking hard questions. If you don't go there and if you don't know that, you don't know the difference between who you are and all the energy of the collective. And that's how you just get sucked into this energy of numbness, into the energy of chaos, into this energy of zombie, right? Because that's really what's going on. I'm the motherfuckers have been talking about the zombie apocalypse, like in Hollywood for so long. Look at this is how they're like doing it. You know what I mean? Like really, they're just brainwashing people through both TVs and, you know, the media and the straight up airways. So understand that like there are like get connected too. We talked about get connected with the elements, okay? Use the elements in your aura, okay? Begin to understand that you're an alchemist. Also, use the elemental kingdom. There's so many things. Like I feel like I have to breathe. Like I feel like I want to tell you everything. But obviously this is like as, you know, fast and hardcore and like to the point that I could do here in Instagram. By the way, if this is the kind of stuff, like level of stuff that resonates with you, this is the stuff that I teach in depth in the Metaphysical Mastermind, okay? Because that's where we actually work with this stuff and we understand these things. Also, side note, on the Metaphysical Mastermind, after the shit that's been happening, I'm going to add a new module this year. So we're going to fucking do it because so much has shifted and I need to teach you guys some like next level things that have to do with this recalibration, because every time the world gives us this, we have to go here, right? So new skills coming at you. It's going to be awesome. So, and I thought the mastermind was complete. I was like, the mastermind is complete, right? And it's amazing how much things have shifted in our planet in a year. The mastermind was born 1 year ago in March, right? So like, it's crazy to think that so much, like we have grown so much because of like our abilities and our superpowers has like had to up level because so much has happened in our world, right? Like when you think about like 1 year ago. So anyways, that's that. So connect to the elemental kingdom and connect to the crystal kingdom, okay? Make friends with the crystals. The earth has a crystalline core at its core. Make friends with the crystal kingdom and also understand how to use the crystals around your house. Like if you don't have shungite yet, order some, okay? That's like massive important. That's EMP protection. That's all of that like electrical, like bullshit, Wi-Fi stuff. Get yourself orgone. We have one of our moon dudes who is Bobby that actually makes like huge, amazing orgons that are really cool. Everybody that comes to my house is like, whoa, that's amazing. Like get in touch with him. You guys know Bobby Johnson. I can't remember his like handle, but he makes really cool giant ones. Like get yourself orgon, get yourself shungite, get yourself selenite, right? Those are like staples. Like you must have them just like you have a phone. You know what I mean? Like these are things that are really important. So that is going to help. And understanding like that this is a time where you have to literally wake up in the morning, get connected and put your light armor on. Like it's really coming down to the fact that like unless you fully have integrated it and you understand it and you wake up in the knowingness that that's where you are, who you are and how you're moving forward, right? Then you have to actually get yourself to do these things and these practices every day. And if you're like me, that you come to like a level of like, you know what, like I have integrated this. I have done like years and years and like decades at this point of work, right? Most days I wake up and I am on, you know, in the right place, like aligned and everything else. And so I don't have to do, it's like the maintenance work now, right? I don't have to do all of this like 1 hour of work every day. Now it's more like 10 or 15 minutes. But sometimes it goes back to being necessary. Like today, in order to do the work that I had to do as a gatekeeper, as a portal keeper, right? There's a whole new slew of things that are happening with like the gates. Because it's now important that we open through portals to broadcast frequencies that otherwise we get filtered through Earth. So do you realize how important it is that we actually do the work that we need to do to get the frequencies? Like those of you that have like to Earth, those of you that have come with me to Sirius, even in like Moon Babe Society, like the last astro travel, astro projection that we did where we went to Sirius and then we went to our soul star, like where our home planet energy was. That's a big deal. Like when we do that work, we literally go and pick up frequencies and bring them onto the planet. Those frequencies cannot land unless we do this job. Like, we have to be the ones to transduce them. We have to go and get them. We are like the rays of light, right? Like, that come down. Just like our sun in our solar system picks up like the flares that come out of the cosmic sun, like our sun picks up that information, right? And like in our solar system, and then delivers it to us. It's all a system, like in that sense. It's all very organized. There's not like, the universe is very intelligent, right? So it comes from the cosmic sun, sends information, then our sun sends it to us. We have to grab it. If we are not available for it, if our spiritual connection is not plugged in, we're not receiving it. It's kind of like if you were to send, like we're just missing the frequency. The frequency doesn't have a place. Like, there's no place for it to land. There's no place for it to be received, because it's like, you don't even see it. You don't even know. You don't even know that it's an option. You don't even know that it's available. So you have to make yourself available. This is one of the things that Barbara Marciniak talks about a lot in her books, in Bringers of the Dawn. And there's other books that sometimes you guys like send me like pieces of, like, that I love, that you share with me. But there's a lot of her books. Like, I love what she's about. I doubt that she wrote one book that I strongly believe in, and then the other ones are like not in alignment, because like when you're at that point, right? But in Bringers of the Dawn, she talks about how you have to make yourself available, and you have to be willing to get into the feeling. Like, this stuff doesn't happen if you're passive. If you're just like, whatever, universe, I surrender. Like, I give up, I surrender. You know, help me out. That's not going to happen. Surrender is active. Surrender is like, okay, fuck the ego. Fuck all this shit that I've tried to do. I'm showing up. God, angels, universe, let's co-create. I'm showing up. I surrender my bullshit. I activate myself in the knowingness. That's different. That's not like, oh, I give up, right? But sometimes it does take people to get to the point where it's like you bang your head against the wall so many times that then it's like you surrender, and you have to cry on your knees for a little while before you actually like get active in your surrender, right? But then we learn, and then you can just shift it like that. It's like, you don't need to go into the victim surrender. That's like not for us. That's not for light ops. That's not for like when you're special forces and the light team. That time is done. Just like all of the other stuff is done. Like, if you have a feeling that you need to deal with that comes up, look at it. Don't back down. Don't chicken out of fucking dealing with your feelings. Like, when something hurts, get into it. Figure it out. Release it. Let it go. Do the magic. Do the alchemy. Learn how to do those things to process yourself through that shit. Speaking of, very important thing. I cannot say this enough. My mentor, that's why I was like, right before I got on this live, my angels were like, you're going to need your other phone. And I was like, I feel like I'm fine. I feel like I'm fine with one phone. It's like, okay, this is why. So my mentor is doing a course, which is called Success in Relationships, okay? My mentor is Gary Acevedo. I'm going to share this on my stories. So after this live, go to my stories if you want to learn. He is really good at processing feelings, okay? That's like his jam. That's his thing. He's not good at other things, but he's really good at that. Like figuring out how to deal with your shadows and like getting out and identifying what the issue is. Do it. He always gives us a deal. I think it's like $49 or $79 for like his like it's a few days course, and you can do it on Zoom, you can do it online. It's not like my courses where it's like I'm here for digital, like I teach you guys in this way. You just kind of get to be like witnessing the workshop that is happening, okay? And so you really have to like pay attention, but obviously the price point is like amazing for what you're getting. So it's a really good deal. So it's called Success in Relationships, and he also calls it the relationships course, which is about figuring out your feelings so you can express them to others and figure out how to like identify how you feel, figure out how other people identify how you feel. This to me was the basis, even though you're like, I don't have issues in my marriage or in my relationship or whatever. Once you learn how to dig into your feeling, okay, if you don't want to do it for something that has to do with a relationship, once you figure out how to dig into your feelings and understand your feelings, that's valuable ass knowledge, okay? Like that's the shit that you want to understand. And he has processes that take you deeper and deeper and deeper. So those of you that go, and Jamie, love him. Yeah, a lot of you guys have done, like he offers like really awesome stuff for for our tribe. So it's really cool. So yeah, he's awesome. He has taught me the basis for the work that I do now, right? So if you're missing that ground work, check it out. I think he starts this class on like Thursday or something like that. It goes through this weekend, okay? So I'll give you the information. That's that. Learn how to process your feelings. Very important, okay? So again, learn to understand that. So those are things. I think I saw like some questions. What is step by step that you would say to make sure that you do each morning? So step by step each morning, I'm looking at what kind of comments you guys are, what kind of questions. What do you think is all the blackouts happening? Yeah, so we have energy to, you guys are all feeling it. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so we're on the mark. Okay, so so many things. So step by steps in the morning when you wake up, number one, the majority of you have one of my meditations from one of my courses. If you don't, okay, of course I'm partial to my meditations, but that's because I created them because I wanted to listen to them, to somebody telling me those things. So if you're in my courses, and those of you that recently traveled with me, or if you're ever around me, you know I have a playlist of all the ones from all the courses in like a row. And I go through them in the morning. As soon as my alarm goes off, I hit play on my playlist on my phone. And while I'm waking up, while I'm coming to, I listen to those, okay? My first ones that I do are from Goddess on Mission. And then I do the Metaphysical Mastermind, and then I do the Mermaid Meditation, true story, and then I do the rehab meditation, okay, the money rehab meditation. Doesn't mean you have to do all this stuff, but that's my routine, okay? That's what I do every day. Now, I'm a snoozer, so I don't like get up out of bed, like that. Usually I do 3 of them in bed, and then I stand up. The moment I stand up, I connect. My energy is like on. I don't go around disconnected, okay? Like my spiritual Wi-Fi hooks on. So make sure that you do that, however that works for you. And if you don't have one of my meditations from my courses, use one from like my free, YouTube playlist. Go to my YouTube, or, pick one that you really like, that really like feels good, like from whoever. The point is, get yourself calibrated to the high frequencies as soon as you like start coming in your body, as soon as, okay? You go from dream state to like here, like get yourself on the right frequencies, because chances are a lot of people don't wake up in the right connecting line, right? You wake up to something and it's annoying and it's too early and you didn't get enough sleep, or your kids are screaming or something, you know what I mean? Like rearrange your getting up to be on your terms. Start life on your terms, right? Like start the day on you, the way that you want it to go. So you want to do that. And then, oh, here's my timer. Okay. And then what you want to do is like take time to, just take time to like fill yourself with the energy that you need. So connect to your heart, connect to the heaven, connect to the earth. Get very clear about the extent of your energy field, and then set intentions for your day. Like absolutely, I would not do a day without like any of that stuff. Okay, so super important. In the mastermind, those of you that are in the mastermind, for example, in the mastermind, I teach you to actually do a very specific process in the morning, right, which we call our silence, where you actually get to like do a lot of work, where you get to like work with your superpowers, where you get to work with your angels, your guides, your higher self, like all the beings. That's where you really start to like work with the fabric of reality, right? So you realize that you are fully in charge and that you get to create this, and that you can draw energy from multiple places in time, like because you have access to so much more. So the more you expand and the more knowledge and understanding you have, right, the more everything is going to come to you easier, because you'll be in alignment, you'll have a wider range of access, and so everything like keeps on coming in, and you'll be led to it when you stray. So what I'm saying here is as you do your work, at the beginning, you have to get the momentum going. So initially, it's a little hard. Like, you have to put some effort into it. But like, fuck, we don't give up because it's hard. You do it because you want the fucking results. Like, you want the end goal. You want to go there, right? Like, so quit bitching and just do the damn thing. Like, find the time to do it, period, the end. You either do something or you don't. There's no trying. Barbara also says this in her books, Barbara Marciniak. She says, like, erase the word trying from your fucking vocabulary. Like, it is done, you know. And she said, if you listen to the audiobook, I'm like, these are the Pleiadians, like, because she's channeling the Pleiadians. But she's like, I'm trying to do this. And it makes me laugh because it's like, that never works. Trying is not doing. It's a completely different energy, right? So quit thinking about it and then do it when you want to, or just don't fucking do it, right? Either way, you have a choice, and either choice will get you a consequence. So what consequence or what action do you want out of your choice? Do you want to make $1 million or not? Do you want to get your light body or not, right? And these are just like things that I'm saying, like, very practical. Do you want a relationship with the person of your dreams or not? Like, do you want that shit or not? If you want it, then be willing to work for it. If you don't want it, don't try, just do something else. Like, do something that you're going to do at 100% until you decide to do something different. There's no point in half-assing it because the universe does not respond to half-assing. Okay? So, very, very cool. Okay, so I had like a bunch of like things to talk to you about, which I think are going to happen later because like we ended up talking about this, but we had like Mercury retro, Mars and Venus. We had like some cellular stuff. So we're probably going to have to do like another live because we really got into this. So what else how do I want to like wrap this up? It's time to work on your superpowers because the world around, and this takes me back to like the blackouts of the things that are happening. It's the energy that's hitting our planet that's next level, like plasma energy that has not hit the planet before. Why do you think, tying back to the satellites, why do you think these satellites are fucking getting deployed in orbit? Because they are going to somehow try and deflect this frequency that's coming in, because the frequency that's coming in is here to awaken the people. And if the people awaken, the evil of the world shall be overthrown, which is, you know, what we're here to do, to ascend the planet. So, you know, it's like a video game. Like everybody tries, everybody goes to their, you know, next level. Everybody keeps on going. So when the evil rises to the occasion, you know, we also have to rise to the occasion. So the light energy that's coming in to Earth via the sun, the stars, and the moon, okay, and all the work that we do through star beings, through your higher selves, through your guides, through like the astral planes, all of that is so very precious because it's the highest frequency that has been available on planet Earth for like eons of time, which means it's our job to translate it into functional knowledge. Okay, this is what people call light codes. Like these are codes, meaning it's information that's just not like, you don't see words, you see codes. A lot of times like sacred geometry holds such a high frequency that in a symbol it means a bunch of words, right? Because it's a frequency. And so it's codes that come in, and then once you have them inside, you have to be able to translate. Okay, so at the beginning of all of this, it would take me like a while to figure out what things meant, and I would be like, oh my gosh, and I'm getting this stuff now. And a lot of you have witnessed this. It's like you ask me something, I just have to go inside, I have to tap in, and then I'll tell you what it means because I have the ability to do that. And it comes with practice, and it comes with like, you know, really doing this kind of work. But then it's really cool to always know, right? To always know, to never really wonder. Like it, like, not that you don't want to wonder is a beautiful thing when used in things, but when you feel scared, it is nice to know, because that moment that you feel like, what the fuck is this, right? Like that doesn't feel good in my life, or something that you see, you know, that's happening to our planet, and that doesn't feel good, right? If you have the ability to access the knowledge inside and, you know, in the astral planes that connect to your higher self and get the answers and understand why things are happening and what you can do, then you're always in alignment, which is a place that feels really good, right? So Akashic records. Yes. So the Akashic records were actually, for the most part, every light worker has integrated those. So the Akashic records are inside of us. And once you learn how to access them, they're not inside of us for everybody. So let me rephrase that. For the most part, your Akasha is what's merging, okay? Your Akasha is the records of your soul that as you make more room inside of your physical body to hold more light, then your records can actually inhabit the body because your vibrational level matches the knowledge that was being held at your Akashic records that you had to deposit as a soul before you actually incarnated, like inside the physical body. Okay, so that is a thing. So a lot of times now we don't really have to go anywhere. You don't have to go to the Akashic records because you've already merged the knowledge. So you just go within and then the answers come, right? And then all of a sudden everything about like childhood and like things like that and past lives like makes sense. So thank you for bringing that up, because anything that has to do with like past life stuff, really that's the job. It's like you want to integrate your Akasha. Okay, your Akasha is the record of all of the lifetimes and everything, and the knowledge that your soul deposited because it couldn't penetrate Earth because it was just too, like Earth was too dense at the time. Okay, so that's where that is. So yes, this will be saved on my page so you can go back and read through. Okay, so amazing, amazing, amazing. So I love it. I've been thinking I have galaxy brain lately, just pulling, through from source. And that's it is also accessible. So that's exactly like the feeling is that it's all accessible and it's our job to keep it that way, right? Like you can just we are fully connected to this universal life force energy. So you want to keep that connection, you want to establish it. And those of you that have the connection, heighten it, strengthen it, right? Like bodybuild it, become like the bodybuilder of whatever it is that you have in terms of abilities, because there will be others that are just beginning this and they won't have the energy muscles. They won't have the light muscles, right? To do this and to go and tear realities apart in order to access the knowledge that they need in order to then integrate it. They'll be so lost they can't do it, right? So that's why we are becoming the giants of this reality in terms of what we can actually giants in terms of gigantic energy fields to where we can actually expand and create rips in the reality that's like the 3D world to where other people can actually access the higher information. So this is our job. We have to show up for it, right? So think of it when you start looking at reality from the eyes of your higher self, once you integrate layers of your higher self, which is again something that we do in the Metaphysical Mastermind, reality starts to look like an overlapping of screens, right? And you start to realize that at any point you have choices, and you can also reorganize what reality you're available for and what layer you want to be on, and in that layer, how everything works. It's like this game of never-ending chess in a sense. And I don't even play chess, but I imagine that that's kind of, how it goes. So, once you see it that way and you're able to move yourself through layers of reality according to your highest alignment, then things start to make sense on a whole new level. But until you begin to have an understanding of what that even means, then all of this is words, right? But you have there's a feeling that comes with it. So as you listen to it, you get a feeling. That feeling communicates to you what this is about. Once you start to understand and peel through it, then you're like, oh, that's what she meant, right? But it takes understanding, being able to grasp it. Case in point is when you guys do the astral travels with me, a lot of times people get frustrated because they're I don't see anything. My superpowers aren't coming online. My third eye is not opening. What's going on? I'm not seeing the things. But after a few times of practicing and staying in it and really getting your intention and your energy and your light aligned, then people are oh my God, I started seeing things, right? So it just takes some practice because it's like a muscle, right? And we have to remember, and it has to make sense, and our frequency has to be able to hold it. So yes. Okay. So Bree, would you say learning how to read the Akashic records from a book is outdated? Yes, absolutely. A lot of things that have, the process will still be similar in terms of like, you can go, like the Akashic records are up on our energy line, right? So you like connect up, Archangel Uriel guards the Akashic records. So you go up. This is something I teach in depth in the Sacred Chakras journey. And like you go up and then you connect to the Akashic records, which are just like the floor below your higher self, okay? And like you go there and you ask, is there anything left for me? A lot of times there isn't, right? Like if you have a session with me, I will check the records, and most people are either like on their last, sign out, like the last contract, soul contract, their last thing that they have to like get resolved, or they've already integrated it. And so you don't have to go to the records to read it. You just have to go like to the person. You have to connect energetically to the person. So you would have to go inside. It's the same thing as like the chakras. Like learning the old system of the separate chakras is obsolete because our chakras are now a chakra pillar. So anything that like, like the records being outside of us is separation. The chakras being separate is separation. Like anything that is not united, doesn't feel like it's cohesive, doesn't feel like it's connected, anything where it's like it's not all accessible, like is becoming very quickly outdated for the majority of the light workers, okay? A lot of people haven't been able, like I speak to you guys, but like a lot of people are not there. A lot of people that like the people that are sitting out there getting fucking vaccinated, their Akashic records are solid up there. They are like held up there. You know what I mean? Like it's just not. But for the majority of the people of the light working community, that's not, that's not where you find them anymore. So learning how to read them and learning how to read the energy, but from a place of within. So, okay. Super cool. Okay. I love you guys. We talked about many things. Remember that we have awesome stuff coming up. No vaccine. No. Let me make that clear. The vaccine is horrible for you. You're injecting yourself with madness. Absolutely no vaccine. Like, just in case that's like unclear in anything that I've ever said, do not volunteer your arm to be like inoculated with some bullshit stuff that's going to awaken inside of your body and cause it to like die young or fucking take over your system's functionality. Like, no. Do you guys know that it's not even FDA approved? Like, it's absolutely not. Like, it's just no. Like, I can't even. Like, no. Okay. I love you. I hope that was like very clear enough. And you can read like so many things. So, okay. So remember that your immune system is your aura. Okay. Like, you don't need anything else besides your breath and your energetics inside of you. Oh, let me say this. So the things that are happening in the human body, okay, this light that we're talking about that's bombarding the earth, the things that are happening inside of the human body, we are in evolution, okay? We're in evolution phase. So we have to do a shifting of the inside, which means the shadows have to be alchemized to light inside, in our organs, in our muscles, in our tissues, okay, in our blood. Literally, that's the work that we've been doing for a while, but now we're getting more physical. When it came to blood, it was like emotional, right? Like these are the memories of our ancestors, these are the past lives, these are the belief systems. Now we actually have to like do the physical part of it. So our organs have to transform. Okay, first in line is our thyroid. So it's like a lot because it regulates a lot of the systems, okay, inside. So, which is not a throat chakra activation. This comes after all your chakras are activated. Your thyroid actually begins to plug in and connect to the DNA strand. So you have to have done all this work first before that happens. So don't confuse it with like, this is why like talking about like the separate chakras is like not the thing anymore, because it's just not. So, because we're beyond that, because that changed in like 2 years ago, okay? Like on a planetary level, when we got the 12D grid on the planet, that changed. So, okay. Whew, so many things I could tell you. You guys know I teach all this stuff in depth in my courses, okay? Like it's not like we just skim over it. This is like, I just give you like the rapid fire bullet points, but like if you want to do the work, if you want to understand it, if you want to know it, if you want to integrate this stuff and like, get to understand you in relationship to all these things and how to do the work through it, that's in the courses. That's in the Sacred Chakras Journey and in the Metaphysical Mastermind where I teach you all this stuff. Okay, so speaking of that, we're also doing a course that's called Dancing with the Light. that is happening in like 2 weeks, okay, at the end of this month. And the reason why we did that is because ascension is getting physical. So this is like, it's getting physical, we feel it, okay? So you have to know who you are and what to do with your physical body. So I wanted to make it fun. And so we will do movement and we will laugh a lot and we will sweat and there's going to be hula hoops and there's going to be things. And you're going to also do some arts and crafts because like we're really going to work with all of our energy that is available to us now. So we're going to use that. But the point is we're going to work with all of these codes. We're going to work with the light and I'm going to show you how to actually like move it through your body. So it's not like you're just going to sit here and dance to a fucking song. Okay. Like that's not what the course is about. Like I don't do fluff. I don't do bullshit, just like we don't bullshit even in these lives. Okay. It's like heavy knowledge, but you're going to be able to integrate it. So the things I teach you will actually have like a place to be inside the body. The format of the course is going to be like half hour. I'm going to teach you things, and then a half hour, we're going to do movements, okay? And we're going to do it with Kelsey, and it's going to be awesome. So super, super cool. So that's happening. That's Dancing with the Light, okay? Which is like your new ascension workout, literally. It's going to be so fun. It's going to be amazing. And it goes well with any other course. So the Metaphysical Mastermind, because it's like something completely different. I've never taught something this physical before, how to actually like grab like the elements and run them through your body, how to run the light through your physical body. I've never taught that, okay, in this sense of movement. So it's like totally different. So I've taught you how to like, run the light through your chakra pillar. Absolutely. Right. And how to send it out to every cell, but this is like different. So, okay. So go and see if it's for you, if you're up for it, if you feel called to it. And then remember that the Metaphysical Mastermind is starting in March for the equinox. And I will be adding on to the page that we're adding a new module this year. So if you're like looking at that and if you're looking at getting in, the sooner you register for that, the sooner you get access to the bonus modules and you get access to the morning routine and everything on there to like get started so that when we get to the equinox, you're ready, right? There's a reason for like registering early because you actually start to like prep for the energy that's going to hit. Like the equinox is like massive alignment. So this is going to be a very, very big deal, equinox, because again, like I said at the beginning, it's the first equinox in the Aquarian age, okay? And like, this is why all this Mercury retrograde stuff is happening. All of this planetary energy has to move through because we have to be ready for what's coming next month, okay? In March for the equinox. So, okay, I love you all. Love you, love you, love you. And I will see you soon. We'll do probably like a next live because I had like more things to tell you. But check the stories. And if you have questions, post them below. I can't remember what I was going to share. I feel like I was going to share something. But just let me know. Post in the comments, okay? And yeah, great time with you. I love you all. It's Sonia G. This is the Moon Babes Monday Night Live. For all the things, go to my website, www.moonbabetribe.com, or here on Instagram, you can find me at Moonbabes and the Light Tribe. Love you guys.